This story is derived from Exodus chapter 14. In the land of Egypt, the children of Israel toiled under the heavy hand of Pharaoh, their cries rising up to the heavens. But the Lord heard their affliction and remembered his covenant with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So he raised up Moses, a humble shepherd, to lead his people out of bondage and into freedom. With signs and wonders, Moses and his brother Aaron stood before Pharaoh, demanding the release of the Israelites. But Pharaoh's heart was hardened, and he refused to let them go. And so, the land was plagued with frogs, with lice, with darkness, and with death, until finally, Pharaoh relented and allowed the people to depart. And so, with unleavened bread upon their shoulders and the promise of freedom in their hearts, the children of Israel set out on their journey. But soon, they found themselves hemmed in by the mighty waters of the Red Sea, with Pharaoh's army hot on their heels, wilderness, and the sea. It was there, at the shores of the Red Sea, in the midst of their despair, their faith was tested like never before. Fear gripped their hearts as they saw the chariots of Egypt drawing near, and their faith wavered. Moses, the servant of God, stood unwavering in his faith. With eyes lifted to the heavens, lifting his voice in prayer to the God of their fathers, he cried out to the Lord, "Fear not, stand still, and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will show to you today." And then, as the people watched in wonder, revealing a path of dry land in the midst of the waters, and lo, as the people watched in wonder, a great miracle unfolded before their eyes, as sea parted before them. The Lord, in his infinite power and mercy, caused a strong east wind to blow across the sea, parting the waters and creating a path where there was none. With hearts pounding with awe, their feet treading where the waves had once roared. The children of Israel walked through the midst of the sea on dry ground, the walls of water towering on either side, and behind them, the pillar of cloud and fire, the very presence of the Almighty, stood as a beacon of hope and protection. But when the army of Pharaoh dared to pursue them into the midst of the sea, the Lord looked down from heaven and troubled the chariots of the Egyptians. Their wheels swerved and their hearts failed them as they realized the folly of their pursuit. And then, as the last of the children of Israel reached the safety of the far shore, Moses stretched forth his hand over the sea, and the waters returned, drowning the chariots and the horsemen of Pharaoh. Not one of them remained. But it was not just Moses who led them in this moment of triumph. Amidst the rejoicing and the singing, there was one woman, Miriam, the sister of Moses and Aaron, who took up her tambourine and led the women in dance and song. With joyful hearts and uplifted voices, they praised the Lord for his mighty deliverance, celebrating the victory he had wrought on their behalf. And as the sun rose high in the sky, the children of Israel stood on the far shore, free at last from the bondage of Egypt. They had witnessed the power of their God, who had brought them out with a mighty hand and an outstretched arm. And they knew that as long as they walked in faith and obedience, he would be with them always, leading them on to the promised land. In the aftermath of this great deliverance, the people of Israel sang praises to the Lord, their God, for his mighty works and his steadfast love. They were reminded that no obstacle is too great, no enemy too powerful for the Lord to overcome. And so, let us take heart, my brothers and sisters, for just as the Lord parted the Red Sea for his chosen people, he will also make a way for us in our times of trouble. Let us trust in his promises and walk boldly in the path he has set before us, knowing that with God all things are possible.